We're visiting Australia today, a land of boundless beauty, untamed wilderness, rugged landscapes, and vibrant ecosystems. From the golden sands of its iconic beaches to the ancient majesty of the Outback, every corner of this vast continent tells a story of resilience and wonder. But unfortunately, it's also where today's story took place, and trust me, it's a strange one with an unimaginable twist, so you're going to want to stick around for this one. But before we dive in, if you're a fan of true crime, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification to ensure you never miss a case, and make sure to like this video to show your support. So without further ado, this is the story of Natasha Ryan. Natasha Ann Ryan was born in 1984 in Rockhampton, Queensland, Australia. A somewhat troubled teen, Natasha was dating older boys, was rumoured to have been experimenting with drugs, and tried to run away a few times, but was always found. When she was 14, she ran away with her then boyfriend Scott Black, the local milkman, who was 22 at the time, 8 years older than Natasha. However, she was found after only 2 days. Unfortunately, Natasha's parents could not keep their marriage together and ended up divorcing. This was difficult for her, and the teen started acting out more, even self-harming at one point. But in August of 1998, only 2 months after her last runaway attempt, Natasha would go missing once more. Her parents understandably at first thought that this was another one of her stints, running away with some older boyfriend. But as the days started passing by, without a word from Natasha, fear started to set in, and they reported her missing. After all, she was only 14 years old. Time started passing, and nobody could locate Natasha. The police started searching and interviewed her friends and even her boyfriend at the time, the milkman Scott Black. Although Scott had helped Natasha run away before, he swore that this time he really had no clue where she was. At one point, police even became suspicious of one of her friends, a 15-year-old girl. But with further investigation, they could find no evidence linking her to the disappearance of Natasha. Around this time, it also became clear that Natasha was not the only girl who mysteriously went missing. 3 other women were also reported missing: Beverly Lego, Sylvia Benedetti, and Julie Turner. Sadly, soon after their disappearance, the bodies of Beverly, Sylvia, and Julie were found. They had been abducted, assaulted, and brutally murdered. A 9-year-old girl named Kira Steinhardt also went missing, and while police were searching for Natasha, they were also searching for Kira. Tragically, Kira's body was located, and after an intense investigation, police found evidence that linked Kira's murder and assault to a man named Leonard Fraser. Prior to this offense, Leonard Fraser had spent 20 years in prison for the rape of other women. The predator reportedly even assaulted a terminally ill cancer patient who was his roommate in 1997. When police searched his home, they found many trophies of his victims and even 3 ponytails which police could never trace to any of his known victims. Leonard was arrested and confessed to the murders of Sylvia, Julie, Beverly, and 9-year-old Kira. And he confessed what Natasha's family had long suspected. He confessed to the murder of Natasha Ryan. His cellmate also reported to police that Fraser had drawn maps showing where Natasha's remains could be found. And so Leonard Fraser was dubbed the Rockhampton rapist and serial killer. The torment that Natasha's family went through, knowing that their worst fears had been confirmed, is just unimaginable. But now they finally had answers and closure. They held a memorial for Natasha on her 17th birthday and also attended the trial of Fraser in honor of their late daughter, which took place in 2003, almost 5 years after she had gone missing. But on the 11th of April 2003, during Leonard Fraser's trial, police prosecutor Paul Rutledge stood up and informed the court that Leonard Fraser was not guilty of the murder of Natasha Ryan. It would turn out that after the police received a tip-off, they raided a home in Rockhampton at night on the 10th of April 2003, and what they found astounded them. They found Natasha Ryan hiding in a bedroom closet. The house she was found in belonged to no other than Scott Black, Natasha's boyfriend, the milkman who she had run away with before. Let me remind you, this man is 8 years older than Natasha, and police naturally suspected that she had been kept there against her will. But no, after questioning her, a truly unbelievable story unraveled. She explained that day in August 1998, her mother dropped her off at school. She kissed her mother goodbye, told her that she loved her, and got out of the car. She then left school and went to meet Scott on the side of the road, and then disappeared. She stated that she hated her life. She was unhappy at home and extremely unhappy at school, and she wanted to escape her life, but deeply regrets it now. When she heard that a man was being charged for her murder, she couldn't believe it. She phoned a child helpline and said she had run away and that she was afraid of returning home. She was scared of going to jail and was cowardly in facing her consequences. The call never reached the police officers, but then an anonymous tip came through to the police informing them that she was alive and well and hiding out at Scott's house. When police found her on the 10th of April, they told nobody and simply let Natasha attend her very own murder trial. And when her family saw her, they were in utter disbelief. It was like their daughter had come back from the dead. Leonard Fraser turned out to be innocent in killing Natasha, but he was found guilty on all other murder and assault charges and received multiple life sentences. After a few years behind bars, he complained of chest aches and was taken to the hospital. There he later died of a heart attack in 2007. Natasha Ryan had to now re-enter her mother's home and try to rectify the damage she had caused. Her mom has been reported saying that she must get to know her daughter all over again and is struggling to trust her. But the pure relief of seeing and knowing that her daughter is alive and well overshadows all the hurt and concern they have in their hearts from her. Natasha would go on to explain that she and Scott created a home for themselves in a nearby town, only 45 minutes drive from her mom's home. They eventually moved to Rockhampton and stayed only 5 minutes away from her mom. They had cats, decorated their home, but Natasha hardly ever left the house or even went outside in the yard. Very seldomly she would go to walk on the beach at night, but she didn't want to risk anyone seeing her. Scott Black was sentenced to 3 years in jail for perjury, with 2 years suspended for lying to police about not knowing about Natasha's whereabouts. In 2006, Natasha was found guilty for causing a false police investigation and was only fined $1,000. She signed with PBL as evidence to pay back at least some of the money for the false investigation. It cost the county $151,000 for the extensive search for Natasha Ryan. However, it was later ruled that Natasha did not have the means to pay. Scott Black was fined $3,000 and was ordered to pay a further $16,000 towards the investigation. To say the least, the community was not impressed with Natasha Ryan and Scott Black. After all, the investigation had to make use of taxpayers' money to search for her. What added fuel to the fire was the fact that Natasha sold her story to numerous media outlets and earned a good sum of money for it. Community members were enraged and felt that she and Scott should have at least used that to pay back the money. So what do you think? Was this just some silly romance taken too far by a teenager and the local milkman? Well, if you do, joke's on you. Natasha and Scott actually ended up getting married on 29 September 2008. And now have 3 beautiful children together. They were reportedly paid $200,000 by Women's Day for the exclusive rights to their big day. Last thing that was heard of Natasha was that she was busy studying to be a nurse and that she and Scott were blissfully happy with their little family. What an interesting and unique case. 14-year-olds often run away, but never manage to stay hidden for long. Natasha managed to hide away for years. And in a strange twist of events, a known serial killer even confessed to murdering her. That's so crazy, and honestly, I really feel sorry for her parents. I wonder what would have happened if police never received a tip, or if they never went to raid that home, if Natasha would ever have come forward. What do you think? Leave your opinion in the comment section. I always enjoy reading what you have to say. Well, that's it for today, folks. Thanks for joining me for this twisted case. Stay safe in this crazy world, and I will see you in the next video.